Welcome to the IT Career Energizer podcast. For anyone who wants to build and grow a career in IT, develop and improve your strengths and skills, be inspired and motivated by the successes of others, manage your career progression, and achieve your IT career goals. And now, your host, Phil Burgess.
Welcome to episode 339 of the IT Career Energizer podcast. My guest on today's show is a defensive strategist and threat intelligence manager at NordVPN. He is responsible for getting the most relevant indicators of compromise, malware samples and their indicators, and mapping out the threat landscape for the company's customers. He has undertaken security reviews and advised companies on how to deal with active threats and extortion. So I'm delighted to welcome to the podcast Adrianus Warmenhoven.
Thank you for having me.
So Adrianus, could you maybe give us a bit of an explanation about what your role entails and a bit about the services that your company provides?
Yes. Let's start with the services first. Nord Security is more known to the public as NordVPN because we started out as a VPN company.
Yep.
Because we want to provide protection for privacy for people on the internet. But we've seen that just doing a VPN is not enough, and now we're starting with more and more security services and products. And this is a nice segue into what I'm doing. I'm defensive strategist at Threat Protection Products, and I'm the manager of Threat Intelligence team in Threat Protection Products. That's a whole mouthful, I know, but
Yes.
what it actually means is I'm responsible for the team that gets all the information about malware or hackers, and we integrate that into products which are being used on the client's device to protect them against malicious activities.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, obviously the word that sort of leaps out to me is the word defensive. So presumably that requires a sort of continuous feed into your, in terms of information about security into your company. And so where does that information come from?
Well, this is the part of the threat intelligence team.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. I won't go into too much detail how we do it, but we gather information which is either public, or we buy feeds, or we share feeds with other security companies. And there's some other methods which I'm not going to disclose, but which are fun if you work in IT.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Right. Okay. Okay, we'll go into the main content of the interview. So, Adrianus, can you share with us a career tip, one that the audience may not be aware of and perhaps should be?
Yes, I think the best career tip is don't play too much with corporate politics. Try to focus on your job and what it gives you and what it brings to you and what you can do in that job. You can have a career within a company and then try to follow all the rules and be nice with everybody. And then your career might advance, but only on paper. And if you're young, that's a really bad way to start, because then you will be locked into that company because it's actually a fake career. So really, my advice would really be, if you do anything about your career, make it sure that it adds value to yourself. Like learn really things and learn things outside of your company. Learn what your trade is about, and not so much learn what the company is about.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have particular methods of doing that, or particular resources that you personally use?
Anything. This is a bit because of the security industry. Nowadays, there's a lot of really good educational resources, and I would really recommend using those. When I started which was in the mid 1980s, so like 1985, 1986, we had to invent everything ourselves. And well, my advice for people with that range would be press every button you see, try everything out, and just see what happens. But really try to get all the online resources and get the real education. It will help you.
Absolutely. In terms of obviously, those experiences and trying different things, it also helps you identify
Yes.
where your passions are as well, what you're particularly interested in, and that will actually help you to develop your career as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Adrianus, can you share with us your worst IT career moment and what you learned from that experience?
Well, there is no worst IT career moment. There are lots of them, and this is not a bad thing actually. I'll take one example, but there have been many others, and this is really not a bad thing. You have to learn from your mistakes and own them, and don't be afraid to make them. Otherwise, you'll be not moving forward at all. One time, we had this big email server for an ISP, and there's this famous example that all old Unix people know. When you type in a special command and you start wiping everything from the root of your disk, and it means wiping everything. Well, in a couple of minutes, I managed to wipe 200,000 people's complete email boxes without any recovery possibilities.
Right.
So yeah,
Quite severe. Yes.
so that was something. This was the first time that this happened to me, so I really physically felt this in my gut. But what I did was I went to management, owned up to it, and we found out who all is well. And I sent them an email, and also that if they really wanted to shout at me personally, they could do so at a special email address which we set up for that purpose. So
Right.
I really took it because there was actually nothing, really nothing I could do about it. Um, and I explained the mistake, and then it was an honest mistake. It was not good,
Yep.
but you couldn't do anything about it. So really go roll with the punches. That was the lesson I learned from that. But
Yes.
you'll
Yeah.
make more than one mistake, really.
I'm just really interested to know, did you actually receive any emails to that account?
Oh yeah,
Right.
yes.
And were they repeatable?
Well, the funny thing is that actually quite a lot were rather supportive.
Right.
Telling me, okay, it was really bad, and I'm missing some messages and this stuff, but I can ask people to resend it because they have a sent email box, and don't take it so hard. And so yeah, it was a mixed bag, and but
Yeah.
overall it was supportive because I was owning up to my mistake.
Absolutely. So I presume that's one thing you took away from it. If you do
Yeah,
make a mistake, don't try to cover it up or hide it.
exactly.
Make sure people understand and can help you to address the mistake and
Yeah,
manage it as best you can.
yeah, that's it.
Good. Okay. Right. Well, that's an interesting one. I haven't come across that one before. So, fine. So maybe we can go to your career highlight. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I have more than one again. I don't see one thing as a point, but one thing that's my personal. I have warm feelings about that. That was when I did one of the first commercial ISPs in Africa, and that was it was announced at the company dinner, and they told all the company and said, well. Coming next month, we are going to branch out to Africa, and we are going to use satellite dishes because, okay, nowadays we all have the fiber cables, but back then there was no Elon Musk, there was no connection to Africa at all. Everything had to be done with satellite dishes, and it was really pioneering stuff. And I can remember sitting at the dinner and thinking, oh, I wonder who's going to do that. And then the director turned to me and said, and Adrianus, you have to get your shots because next month you're going.
Right.
I thought, oh wow, I haven't prepared anything. I know next to nothing about satellite dishes. And they gave me only one piece of equipment, which was totally inadequate. But for some reason, I got one router and nothing else except these are your contacts in Africa. And well, I came to Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, and I had to invent what I did at the spot. I really had no clue what to do yet. But the good thing is, after like 3 months, we managed to get it working, and that was such an awesome moment when I had the first chat with people back in the Netherlands. And my friend who was sitting in the Netherlands called my mom, and this was in the early 1990s. He called my mom and said, "Your son is talking to me from Africa." My mom wanted to hang up because she thought, this is expensive. And told him,
Yes.
no. He has just set up an internet provider in Tanzania, and it works. And we had a chat through that, and this was such an awesome moment of bridging that gap, and it felt so nice about doing something special in IT and managing to get something special done.
Yes.
And this kind of formed the rest of my career as well, because I really got a hunger for doing difficult and daunting things. When a recruiter after that called me, whenever a recruiter calls me, and they ask me, "What would you like to do?" And I will always tell them, I want something that is daunting. I want a task that is difficult and something preferably I have never done before.
Yeah. And it must have given you a tremendous amount of confidence knowing that you could actually create something from nothing effectively,
Yes,
and step up to a challenge like that.
yes, absolutely. I was really scared when I landed there, but at the end of the project, it was like, if there's any signal on a wire, I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, very good. Okay. So, Adrianus, can you tell us what excites you about the future of the IT industry and careers in IT?
That it's everywhere. Um, Even in security, I got to play with boats, planes, airports. I built a battery management system, like for these megawatt batteries. It's everywhere, and you get to learn what the other people know. So I learned a lot about airplanes. I know a lot about um, cadaver recovery. This is really gruesome, but
Yeah.
like the dead bodies software,
Yes.
which identifies them. I had to learn about that. You get to learn so much about other people's professions, that which is really awesome. And this is because we're going to automate more and more, and we see a lot of the AI coming up, and which will give us more power and more tools. It will be packaged, and then we'll use it as a component for more IT. And it connects the world, and this is such an awesome thing to see. I started out from having absolutely no software or any computing at home, just like the tube TVs. That's where we started from, to the current system. We're talking now over the internet, and I have no idea where you actually physically are, but it doesn't
Yes.
matter. But it doesn't matter, and this is what comes next can only be a continuation of that, and there's so much more room for that.
Yeah. Oh, very true. And given that obviously you very much focus on security and defensive mechanisms, where do you see that going? Because obviously, as we evolve and technology develops, presumably the threats will increase.
Yes, currently it's security is more of a second class citizen in IT, and I don't mean this demeaning, but it's something like an add-on. And I can imagine that it will become a first class citizen, that everything that we security people do will be at least a subset of it will be like standard fare for any other IT direction as well. And this is because we see that well, with the war in the Ukraine, we saw that cyber warfare is now really a daily occurrence, and it's here to stay. So in IT security, we see also the mixed things, like the IoT, like the big factories. There's a lot of things that security is going to do. So it will grow, and there will be so many different opportunities and so many different specialities. You can make it as uneventful or as eventful as you want if you work in security. You can sit at a SOC, a Security Operations Center, and just look at alerts, and it's a quiet, almost monastery style type of work. Or you can go into an airplane and understand that engines are just Unix machines, and they could be controlled by hackers as well. and you get to fly around and try not to make mistakes in the software, otherwise the engine will shut off. Things like that.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Right. We're going to go and find out a little bit more about you and the way you think in the reveal round. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
Good. So, what first interested you in a career in IT?
Computers. There weren't any when I was young.
Right. Okay. So, was it just curiosity as much as anything else?
Yes, I was actually going to study math, but then I found out about computers, and at the university they were doing IT. Were actually, and I got in a big fight with my parents, who said, "Well, with math you can go into aviation and rocket science. Computers, nobody heard of computers." Well, I'm glad I made my decision.
Okay. And what is the best career advice you've ever received?
The best one is to actually be calm and listen to people, and try to understand other people. To really understand, not just be like a sinkhole for words. Sometimes people listen to you, but they don't try to understand. You have to ask questions and really understand what the other person is talking about, and try to empathize. Empathy is really a strong tool.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think, listening and empathy very, very closely linked. Definitely. And what is the worst career advice you've ever received?
The worst one is just follow the rules, and because then you start playing a game, um, which you don't want. You might want to play the game against hackers or against software bugs or whatever. But as soon as you start playing by the rules in your company, it means you're being stressed by things you cannot control, and you have to be somebody that you aren't. Like, you have to outperform this person, otherwise you don't get this position, or those kind of things. Don't do that. Just it was really bad advice, because then you get something that is not playing to your strength. If you are a person that really feels comfortable in those things, absolutely go ahead. But most IT people do not feel comfortable in playing by the corporate position games.
Yeah.
So don't.
Okay. And if you were to begin your career again in today's world, what would you do?
I would not choose IT.
Really?
No. This is a running gag between me and my friends from those times, and all the old IT people. We often look at people who work with flowers and trees and think, "Oh, that's so nice. At 5 o'clock, it's done." In IT, you are never done. But if I were to answer your question, I would probably do exactly the same.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And what career objectives are you currently focusing on?
My career objectives are always the same: having fun. And this is, it might sound really really cliche or something like that, but I'm a hacker at heart, and we like to figure things out and learn things and find out how everything in the world is connected, and how things work, and how people are. I'm always trying to have fun, but currently within my current job, I also like to elevate my team, to give them some of the insights I had, and some of the tricks, and that kind of thing. I don't mind if people pass me in terms of knowledge or skills. I really enjoy that.
Good. Okay. And what's the number one non-technical skill that has helped you in your career so far?
Talking and listening.
Yeah.
That's,
So verbal communication.
yes.
Yeah. And what do you do to keep your own career energized?
Finding new challenges. That's not always possible, but the good thing is that everything is changing all the time. Try to see what other people are doing. Not always follow my own line, because then you get jaded, or currently I'm at the age that I say that the young people are now the ones should be ones making decisions. I'm not. I helped decide a lot about the early internet, and we built that stuff. I should take a step back and help them build their new vision. We built our vision already. Now they should build theirs, and we can stand. People of my age should be standing next to them and help them.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. And what do you do in your spare time away from technology?
Well, a lot of my time is with my family, but I also like to do, and this might sound a bit strange, things like French polishing.
Okay.
And yeah,
Right.
it really takes a lot of physical work. My father used to do fishing, but fishing is a bit cruel against animals, so we're not doing that.
Yep.
So I did something else, which is almost Zen-like. It's really nice to slowly to have a task which you have to focus and which you have to do really well. Otherwise, you will immediately see it in the result. Like
Yes.
totally non-IT, but that's just me. Other people should really do whatever they like.
Right. So given you're into French polishing, does that mean you have a home full of furniture?
Well, we have a lot of wood, yes, but
Yeah.
and a lot of it is shiny as well, yes.
Right. Okay. Adrianus, can you share with us a parting piece of career advice?
Yes. Try when you're young. First, try to figure out what you want to do, and then start from the basics of that stuff. So, if you want to be a database administrator, if you really like that, the DBA stuff, then learn about how databases work, because it will help you with everything that comes after. If they explain in your education that something is done like this or that, then you will understand, okay, they have chosen this because underneath is all of this. I teach the same, I give the same advice to people that want to be a CISO or an engineer. For a CISO, I tell them, read about the internet protocols, understand why these machines work like this way. You don't have to be an expert in them, but really understand what the decisions were that led up to what you're learning now.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Okay. So, Adrianus, how can we find out more about you and connect with you?
The easiest way would be to find my LinkedIn page. That's well, you just type in my name in LinkedIn and then you can find me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm a security person. I do have a personal website, but hasn't been updated in like years. So I'm not on the social media on accounts that I'm willing to share. So LinkedIn is actually the best bet.
Good. Okay, fine. That's no problem. Right, Adrianus, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. It's been great chatting with you.
I enjoyed it too as well.
Hi, Phil here again. Well, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with today's guest. You can find full show notes on the website at itcareerenergizer.com/e and the number of the episode you've been listening to. If you haven't already subscribed to the show, please make sure that you do, so that you get episodes automatically downloaded to your device every Monday. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
Thanks for listening to the IT Career Energizer podcast. To find out more about building a successful career in IT, visit itcareerenergizer.com.